The definition of ubiquitous. Ubiquitous. It is a good discussion for us to have today, and I want to make sure you know, like everywhere, all the time, ubiquitous. This definition is one that we all must be aware of, be more conscious of the messages, the narratives that are being fed to us, everywhere, all the time. And so imagine sounds and images so loud and so visible 24/7. You wouldn't be able to think your own thoughts. These are other people's thoughts, other people's ideas, other people's advertising, other people's, uh, you know, everything. Oh, so imagine that. And just know that that's what's happening right now, ubiquitous. And we must be able to carve out time to think, right? To think our own thoughts. And so, of course, you've heard me say this before, shut your big old mouth. And so you shut your big old mouth so you can think, so you can listen, right? More than you talk. And so that you are able to, learn from other people. And oh, by the way, this means you want to be able to have everybody else shut their big old mouth, like shut it down, tone it down, so that I may be able to think my own thoughts, acknowledge my own things that are a priority to me, right? So this is Better You Leadership Podcast. And this is an ongoing journey to become better leaders for women who are in positions of authority, women who are influencing others, right? Ultimately, when women put some of these tips, techniques, and tactics in place, then guess what? You're going to build your skills and you're going to build your leadership capacity. This podcast teaches women the nuances of personal development with the intent of you earning more respect and revenue. So every week, I'm here to offer insights that might help you on your journey. And so I'm rooting for you as you become a more trusted leader, right? Someone that others are saying, that's what right looks like. Sometimes they won't say that, and it's okay, right? This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Odom General Store. My name is Angela Odom, and that's Odom. And so it'll be Odom General Store, where you'll find merch for leaders and items that inspire. Hey, Melinda Presley, I am looking for you right this minute. I am so glad you tuned in. I like sincerely want to talk to you. so, so that's your timing is perfect. So, ubiquitous is a topic for today. The definition is defined as present, appearing, or found everywhere. And so when you look it up, you'll know that it's a term that's used in science. Is when the technical folks are talking about, computers are using ubiquitous. When the people are, everywhere are using the term. So you want to be aware of what this looks like. So it refers to something that is found everywhere at the same time. And this could be things that are universal by nature, commonplace, or like some kind of fashion trend, right? So ubiquitous. Like these little short video clips are ubiquitous. If you at one of those those parks where they might have a Ferris wheel and all those different things, then guess what's going to be ubiquitous? Hot dogs, right? Hot dogs, or those kiosks. You will see them in different spots where you can go get the all the good fattening food. Ubiquitous. So it is a term that I just wanted to share with you, and not even assuming that you don't know it. I'm assuming that you're not aware of how many messages are coming at us, how many images, how many narratives are sold to us every single day. And so this word comes to us from the noun ubiquity, meaning presence everywhere in many places simultaneously. Um, the words derive, from the Latin word everywhere, which is ubique. And so I'm no English teacher. Matter of fact, the reason they made the spell check is for me to be very sure about that. But I do know that um, this word, I really want you to get this in your spirit, right? And be aware of, just keep your eyes and ears open to the messages that you are encountering, unconsciously and consciously, right? You're getting these different words. And so last week, I had the privilege of hosting my 7 and 6 year old nephew here at the house with me. They live in Mississippi. We live in Georgia, and it was their spring break. And so I think it was the first day. They were here for what, 5 days, 6 days, 6 nights, 5 nights, whatever. It was it was a long. But anyway, they're cute, they're adorable. But anyway, I think the second day we were driving somewhere. They were in the back seats, and one of them said, "I'm scared." And I was like, "Well, what's going on?" And I realized that I had the radio tuned to the war in Europe. You know, there are wars. As an aside, there's wars happening every day all around the world. But right now, what's happening? What's ubiquitous in today's media? The Ukraine, the Russian invasion of Ukraine. That's ubiquitous everywhere, right? I'm getting messages on my email and support Ukraine. Do this. It's on Twitter. It's everywhere. And so my little nephew said, "I'm scared," because I had the radio tuned to a station where they were discussing the war. And I was like, what is it?" And my son pointed out, "Mom, it's the war." And I was like, "Oh." So I quickly turned the radio station to R&B, and they started talking about, they were singing about "Lick You Up and Down." I was like, "Oh." So the messages, of course I turned the radio off. And then just realizing, just becoming more conscious, more aware of the different narratives, the different messages that the 7 and 6 year old were receiving, right? And so one of them said to the other one, "You're not supposed to, play that game because they have guns in the games." So I said, "Okay, stop it." But anyway, I had to talk through that. One had a phone, one had a device, had his tablet. And so ubiquitous, that's what I'm talking about, ubiquitous, right? So those, now I'm monitoring the different messages, what sites are they on their phone? Who are they calling? What, you just got a text from who? Why are you on the phone? So it's different. So we want to make sure that we have, space in our lives to think. So that's the 7 and 6 year old. And of course, they have sheltered and guarded. They have boundaries that their mom and their dads have put in place for them. And so, what about us as adults, as leaders? So, if we're in a room, for example, with four walls, and imagine images projecting on the four walls. Everywhere we turn, there's somebody else's message, somebody else's image, and we have speakers on the floor, and it's loud. And so it is not the message that we're asking for. It's not the messages that are aligned with that which we want. It's not a message that is aligned with our beliefs. It's not messages that are aligned with the things that we say we want to achieve. It's not those messages, not those images. It is messages that we are receiving from others who want us to help them build their empire. The messages and images that are being thrown at us um, on a daily, on a minute, on just a second basis, just every second, right? It's ubiquitous. And so that's what the experience with my nephews uh, allowed me to tune into, right? Allowed me to become more aware of, because I like to watch the crime shows. So I couldn't watch my crime shows, you know, with the kids right there. And so what was the antidote to the messaging to all of that? Um, it was get outside, do things, act do activities with them where they didn't need to feel like they had to have their phone or their devices, right? So I didn't say put those down, don't touch those. No. What did I do? We went zip lining. Can't have your phone there, can't have your device there. Don't even want it because you're laughing, you're engaging, you're having fun. You are the environment you're in, you want to be there, right? So we went to the Georgia Aquarium. Oh no, they didn't want to take the phones or the devices there because they want to see, uh, everything, all of the sights, all the sounds. They want to experience that. And oh, by the way, they wanted to hold my hand, which I was not used to, quite frankly. My son's 16. That was so cute. But anyway, so we went to the trampoline park. Hey, guess what? No devices there either, right? Because they're jumping up and down, having a good time. All of us engaging. We did taste tests of snacks, which I don't think their parents were very happy about. We did taste tests on another night of all these different things to drink. We enjoyed that, right? We did, board games. We went to the bookstore. That's what I like to do. We went to the bookstore. They had an opportunity to talk to the author of a book. He signed the books that he wrote. They were able to engage and ask questions. And so the antidote is to control your environment, is to go out and do things that are aligned with where you want to be. That's the antidote. And oh, by the way, for them, I realized like on the second day, I was like, okay, so hey, did you have a good time yesterday? They was like, as if they had forgotten already what we had done the first day. So guess what I did? Had a big old sticky and just put down what we had did and asked them, hey, so what was good or bad about that? Do you want to do that again? And so for the adults, I want to share that same thing with you, and that is make sure you are, you have your journal. You have time to meditate, to think about the things that you want to do in the future, whether it's the end of the day, next week, next month. You want to document those things. Now, of course, for me, I like pencil and paper. I like the pen and paper. But you can have your device, all these, there's so many ways that you can um, document the things that you want to do. So Google it and figure that part out. But I think that was also very successful for the 7 and the 6 year old. Because at one point they were saying, so, Auntie, they call me Auntie, Auntie Angela, right? So they said, I want to do A, B, and C. Can we do this, and that? And they said, can you put it on the paper, please? Because they know that's how I was keeping up with things. So the bottom line is um, the messaging that we are being inundated with is not always aligned with that which is important to us. Not It's not aligned with our priorities, our needs, our wants. And so what can you do about it? What's the antidote? I'm telling you the antidote for this ubiquitous amount of information, the nature of it is to think, um, to have your meditation time, your quiet time. If it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, whatever it is for you, right? It doesn't work for anybody else. If it's in the morning or the middle of the day or the night, whatever works for you, but carve out some space for you to think without interruption, without anyone else's voice, right? Without any music, without anything. Sometimes I ride in my vehicle with no music on, nothing at all, because I want to think my own thoughts. And if I'm on my way to an event, I am preparing as I am, driving there anyway. So think your own thoughts, right? So meditation, that'd be one. And then create the environments you want to see manifested in your life, just as I did with the 7 and the 6 year old, right? So for me, what I wanted to manifest in their life was more laughter. I wanted more physical activity, and I wanted them to be tired. I mean, I'm just going to tell you. I wanted to wear them little jokers out, right? And so that's what we did. We created activities that would be good for them, memorable, and that they would enjoy. They had input into, to a certain extent, to what they would do. So that's what that I want to give to you is to create the environment. So you're in a job, you're at a in a position where you are most likely respected and you've earned it and you're more qualified than anybody else, and on and on and on. However, you already know that there is something else. There's something else you want to achieve and do. There's some other uh, things and people you want to engage with. Some of us call them family or friends or whatever it is. So you want to create that environment, carve out that time to create those skills, build those skills, and build that time into your schedule, right? So ubiquitous is what we talk about today as far as the definition of it. Um, Everything everywhere simultaneously. And we're talking about the narrative, talking about the messaging, talking about the audio and video images, that are being fed to us. And it's some of it is meant to divide us, purposely meant to divide us, purposely meant to align us with a particular brand that might not be good for us in the direction we want to go. But how do we even know if we don't know what we want, if we've not stopped to think, right? So you might have, you know, so many people depending on you for your nurturing, for your finances, for your support, whatever. Other people are dependent on you. And I think that's great, right? I want you to just remember within the Better You community, we focus on showing up for ourselves first and then serving others from the overflow so that we might be able to do more on another day. So get your, talking about ubiquitous, right? Go ahead and make sure that you have time to think without disruption or input from others. There you go. So with that said, you have um, an amazing day. I want to just make sure that we are on the same sheet of music of what leadership was. You know, I served in the army for 27 years, and leadership was really, it was about people. It was mostly men. When you talk about leaders and leadership, right? You if you go and do the research, then if you go and put in Google 10, 15, 20 years ago, it would be mostly men, usually white men with formal authority, titles, power, wealth, all these things. Now, um, we're moving towards leadership again, people. But now you see different images. People old and young, they're men, they're women, they have experience, inexperience, they got little money, they lots of money, they're wealthy, all these different categories. They're young and they're they're all different backgrounds. And so that is beautiful that leaders are seen in so many different ways. Not necessarily someone with the title or the position. None of that. It is all of this, and it is space and room for all of us. What I want you to communicate and understand is three things: agency, mindset, and skill set. The agency, just realize that you can influence your own destiny, and you have the confidence to act on it, whatever that is you're seeking, right? Just step out on it, even if you're scared. Do it scared. So agency, and then mindset. Seeing life as an adventure to learn and to grow. That's the mindset. Like okay, you know what? I'm not the best at this. I'm not perfect at it, but guess what? I'm making progress. I'm going to try it. I'm going to put my toe in, figure this thing out, right? And then third thing, of course, is skill sets. Build the skills that you need to get where you need to go, right? So those three things: agency, mindset, and skill set is what I will offer to you. So this is the part of leading yourself, and of course, here in the Better You community, we focus on leading ourselves, others, and projects and programs. That's what we're doing. So ubiquitous, the definition as we have talked about it today. I ask you to just look around, listen to the that you are receiving that are coming to you day and night. Don't pick your phone up as soon as you wake up. Stop doing that foolishness, right? Create environments where you are moving your body more, being with people that you want to be engaged with more. Do those types of things. And then the messages that you want to receive, get more of those, right? Get more of those messages, that narrative. I'm asking you to guard your habits, your routines, your mindset, and your time. We are what we repeatedly do. So excellence then is not an act, but a habit. And so, of course, that's by Aristotle. So I'm gonna give you a high five, bam. Give a high five right there, and thank you today for your time. So if you're ready to become a more trusted and effective leader, then schedule a virtual fit session with me. And you just go to angelaodom.com/leadership capacity, and we'll set up a time. You will set a time for me to show up on Zoom to talk to you, and we'll go over your needs, your desires, your what you want to see manifested in your life. So this is a Better You Leadership podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Angela M. Odom. I'm the founder of the Better You Leadership podcast and the Better You Project brand itself. So I'm here teaching women the nuances of personal development so that you can earn more respect and revenue. And of course, I am rooting for you. I'm going to ask to, wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Google, or Amazon Music, wherever it is, go there and give the podcast a rating of 5. I don't want to see this 4, 3, 2, 1 foolishness. Go give me a 5 for that, so that more people are able to get some of this goodness, right? So that more women are able to learn and put some of these good tips and techniques into action. And so, with that said, please make it a great day. If you can't make it great, make it wonderful. And then, Melinda, I do want to talk to you, so I will DM you in a few minutes. Okay, you all take care.